Very good afternoon to all my dear students. I welcome you all into the industrial pharmacy first. Yes, so we are on to the pharmaceutical aerosols, very correct. And as far as the pharmaceutical aerosols are concerned, in our yesterday's lecture, we had gone through the propellant, what the propellants are, what is their concept, how the propellants these are going to be classified, how these are going to be nomenclatured, what are the different types of the propellants, advantages, limitations, uses, and the use of different kinds of the containers as a material for carrying the aerosol preparations, aerosol dosage forms. Now, as far as our today's lecture and today's talk is concerned, we will going to cover the different things in the coming slides. And after going through these slides, you will be able to understand to know about the construction of the aerosol system. You are going to understand the different systems of aerosols, and we will going to discuss in this the manufacturing of the aerosols. So you will going to come to know that how the aerosols are going to be manufactured. Now, as far as in order to achieve all these learning outcomes, our lecture plan that will move through the valve and actuators, aerosol systems, the different types of systems, and the manufacture of the aerosols. Now, before directly going to all these aspects, let us understand that what are the different components of the aerosol system. So we know that the aerosol, the whole device that is composed of the propellant system, which is known as the heart of an aerosol package. Then there is a container. As far as the container is concerned, different types of materials are going to be used, like say aluminum, stainless steel, plastic, and the glass. Then there is a valve and actuator. Valve and actuator, these are responsible for the delivery of the content. And there is a product concentrate, which is the API, right? Or which is the therapeutic ingredient. Now the valve that will basically perform the different functions. It is the vital component of any kind of aerosol package, and the valve that is responsible for governing the delivery and the performance. That means the kind of stream, that means the kind of delivery, whether the product has to be come out in the form of a stream, in the form of a continuous line, in the form of a short metered dose, or in the form of a coarse droplet, or in the form of the fine droplet. That will going to be governed, that will going to be decided by the valve system. That is what is the meaning. Now, basically, if we see the valve that will perform the three different functionings, and these three different functionings can be summarized in the form of RPG. Now, what is this RPG? RPG that will stands for regulating, P that will stand for providing, and G that will stands for the governing. Now, what is to regulate, what is to provide, and what is to govern? The valve that is responsible for regulating the flow of product out of the container. The way by which I told you, whether it has to come out in the form of continuous stream, or in a short metered dose way, or in the form of fine mist, or in the form of a stream, or in the form of a coarse or fine droplet. So that is regulated by the valve. It will provide the discharge of desired amount when needed and preventing loss when not in use. If it is the continuous spray, unless and until we are keeping the valve continuously pressed, the content that will comes out, if it is the metered one, we just have to press at a time the required dose that will comes out. So it will prevent the loss. The third is the governing the characteristics of the dispensed product. As far as the types of valves are concerned, there are two different types, like say the continuous spray valve and the metering valve. So if we see the duo spray, if we are just keeping it pressed as such, there is a continuous mist that is coming out of this aerosol system in case of the duo sprays. But as far as if you see the perfumes, or if you see the medicated aerosol system, like say the in case of the asthmatic patients, the kind of aerosol system which is going to be used, just if we are pressing it, it will deliver the required amount of dose. So that is the metered dose, and that's why these devices are said to be or these valves are called as the metering valves. Now, as far as the metering valves are concerned, there is a special assembly, there is a metering device which will measures the required amount of dose that is to be delivered, that is to come out through the valve when it is going to be actuated. Certain fixed or measured amount that is delivered. If in case of the inhalational aerosol systems, then in such cases 25 to 150 micro ml, that is the quantity which is going to be delivered in the form of metered valve. And if it is a kind of topical aerosol system, in that the volume of up to 5 ml that is going to be delivered, and this is to be used for the potent medications. And a metering chamber, that is the integral part of its design. It will consist of the metering chamber. So that metering chamber, it will measures that particular amount which is to be come out. If you want to see the different components of the valve system, in order to become thorough with all these systems, you need to draw these diagram again and again and again. So you can see there are different systems and the different components. There is a orifice through which the mist that will come out. There is an actuator, this particular assembly that is said to be the actuator. When this is going to be pressed, when this is going to be activated, at that time the content that will comes out and that will going to be delivered. There is a stem, there is a gasket, there is a wall cup which is of either aluminum or tin plated aluminum. There is a spring cup. So upon releasing the pressure, it will allows the actuator to regain its position by lifting it into the upward direction. When it is pressed, the coil that will get compressed. When the pressure that will get released, the coil that will regain its shape, and the actuator that will move to its previous position. There is a valve housing and there is a deep tube. The deep tube that is responsible for carrying the content, the product. If we see the components of the valve, you can see there is a valve cup, this particular assembly that is said to be the valve cup. Then there is a outer gasket. So this is the outer gasket which is fitted over onto that of the container. Then there is a spring, there is a deep tube, there is a valve housing, inner gasket, and the valve stem. Now, as far as the valve cup or the mounting cup or the ferrule is concerned, this is said to be the valve cup, mounting cup, or the ferrule. So this is used to attach the valve properly to the container, and it is made up of tin plated steel or the aluminum. So this is used. Then there is an outer gasket. So this outer gasket, that is, it will form the seal between the valve cup and the aerosol can. Then valve housing or the valve body. So the valve body, it is made up of the nylon or Delrin. The opening at the point of the attachment of the deep tube, that will consist of 0.013 inch to 0.08 inch in diameter. Sometimes the vapor tap may also be there. Vapor tap prevents clogging, helps in satisfactory dispensing. decreases the chilling effect or propellant onto the skin and the flame extension. The Volvo body contains the valve stem, spring, and the inner gasket, as we had discussed few seconds before. There is a deep tube. Now this deep tube that will gives the way to liquid to enter in the valve. It will allows and ensure the good mix of the propellants with drug concentrate. So no propellant can be dispensed without drug. So this is most important because only propellant should not come out. Only because you might have seen that if it is, then the desired therapeutic or the desired intended effect may not be achieved. You might have seen in most of the advertisements, right? So how they used to advertise gas wala dio, isn't it? There is no perfume, there is no dio, but there is simply the gas, right? So they will going to take this as their USP and they will going to sell their product. So generally the 0.12 inch, that is the internal diameter for the deep tube, and for viscous product it is increased one from 0.12 to that of the 0.195 inch. Now this is the actuator, as I told you, right? So that is responsible for releasing the content from a pressurized container. It will fits onto the valve stem and it will govern the type of delivery, fine mist, wet spray, or the semi-solid stream, etc. The spray actuators, foam actuators, solid steam actuators, and mechanical breakup actuators. All these are the different types of the actuators. And it is the actuator which will governs upon actuation, the kind of spray that to come out. The product concentrate that will contain the active pharmaceutical ingredient, its mixture. It will contain the solvents, it will contain the surfactants, and it will contain the antioxidants. The valve, if we want to summarize what we had studied up till now, so we had gone through the valve may be continuous or the metering valves. Then there are different components of the valve, that is the valve cup, gasket, valve body, deep tube, actuator. These are the components of the valve body. There is a product concentrate. Now this product concentrate is good mix of API with the other ingredients. And now we will move to the different types of the aerosol systems. If you want to classify the aerosol systems, the aerosol system that is classified based on the propellant or the container that is going to be used. So based on the propellant, there are liquefied gas system, there is a compressed gas system, and there is a barrier type system. Based on the dosage form, if we see, the aerosols are classified as solution system, suspension or dispersion system, and the emulsion system. Now, as far as the liquefied gas system is concerned, so that is the classification based on the propellant. So here you can see liquefied gas system, compressed gas system, and the barrier type system. In case of liquefied gas system, the liquefied gas that is going to be used as a propellant and the boiling point that is less than that of the 21 degrees Celsius, the vapor pressure of 13.4 to 135 psia at 21 degrees Celsius, and pressure on liquid phase pushes the product concentrate and the propellant up in the deep tube and dispense due to large expansion in atmospheric pressure. Because these liquefied gas systems, they will be having the large expansion ratio, and the pressure which is going to be maintained, that is final pressure, is equal to that of the initial pressure. So that is good, and that is the most important advantage associated with the liquefied gas system, and which is helpful in order to maintain the pressure throughout the shelf life of the aerosol system. As far as the liquefied gas systems are concerned, there are two different types, two-phase system and the three-phase system. The two-phase system that will contain the space spray, surface coating spray, And the three-phase system, these are nothing but the Aerosols foam systems. The two-phase system, that is the solution system. Here, the solution of API in pure propellant or a blend of propellant and solvent that is going to be prepared. It is easy to formulate if no solubility problems are there. And these are prone to the chemical degradation. As far as the general formula in case of solution aerosol system is concerned, you can see there is a active pharmaceutical ingredient from 10 to 15% and product propellant, that is propellant 1,2 or propellant 1,1 in the proportion of 50:50. That is the mixture of propellant, and that is to 100%. In case of suspension or the dispersion system, which is known as the two-phase system, now to deliver the insoluble drugs, the suspension or the dispersion system that is used, and it is responsible for delivering the higher doses. There is a constant agitation is required during the manufacturing process, and this is prone to the physical instability because of the problems associated with the suspensions and the dispersions. As we saw, like they will consist of agglomeration, they are associated with caking, they are associated with particle growth, valve clogging, and closing of the valve. Now, the general formula for the suspension, it is the API 0.5 to 1%, sorbitant trioleate, that is the 0.5%, and the propellant 1,2, propellant 114 in the proportion or in the concentration or in the ratio of 49.5 is to 49.5. So that is the 100%. Now there is a need to improve the stability of the aerosol dispersions or the suspensions. Now how we can go on improving the stability of the suspensions? We can go on improving either by using these 4 to 5 different approaches. The first, we may go for lowering the moisture content less than that of the 300 parts per million. Then we can go for use of the active pharmaceutical ingredients derivatives. Sometime we may go for reducing the particle size that is less than that of the 5 micron or 50 to 100 micron for the topical aerosols. And there is a need to adjust density of the propellants and or the suspenoid. Sometimes we need to use the dispersing agents or the surfactants, like say the agents with the HLB value less than 10, sorbiton trioleate STO, sorbiton monoleate, that is SMO, and the isopropyl myristate, IPA, IPM, and the mineral oils. So just in order to summarize the things that we had covered the aerosols. They may be classified in different systems based on the propellant, container based, or the dosage form based. The propellants and the containers, they are the 3 different types of systems. What are those? Liquefied gas, compressed gas, and the barrier types of system. The dosage form based, they may be solution, suspension, or the emulsion type. The liquefied gas system may be 2 or 3 phase system, and the system stability that must be focused in aerosols specifically with suspension type of systems. Now, in case of the 3 phase or the water based system, you can see that they will consist of the 3 different systems, like say in the form of there is a vapor, there is a liquid, and there is a product concentrate. So this is the combination. This is the 3 phase system. So the liquid component, these are not miscible with the propellant, and that can be used more in this particular system. There is a low percentage of the propellant that is going to be used in case of the 3 phase system, and special type of actuators like say the mechanical breakup actuators, these are needed in case of the 3 phase or the water based system. So these 3 phase system, they will contain the vaporized propellant, some propellant that might be in the form of the vaporized state, some might be in the form of liquid state, and there is an aqueous solution of the product. The general formula for the water-based phase system, you can see the advantageous point is that we can go with the API up to 40 to 85% concentration. So that is the beauty of this particular aerosol system. We can load the large amount of active pharmaceutical ingredient by designing the three-phase system. The surfactant 0.5 to 2, then propellant 5 to 10%. As far as the foam or emulsion systems are concerned, here the emulsified propellants, these are used and these are suitable for the topical aerosols. These are generally used at 40 to 50 psig at 21 degrees Celsius with 4 to 7% concentration. Generally, the shaving sprays, that is the Gillette foams, that is the example of this foam or the emulsion type of system. Now, if the emulsion type, that is the OW type, oil in water type, and if the propellant is in internal phase, the foam type of dispensing that is going to be obtained. And if the emulsion type, that is water in oil, WO type, and if the product concentrate, that is the in the internal phase, then the wet stream that is going to be dispensed. So based on the particular type of emulsion, we can obtain the type of dispensing. If it is OW, we will obtain foam type dispensing. If it is WO type, we will going to obtain the wet stream type of dispensing. Now there is a compressed gas system. So again, as far as the compressed gas system is what? There is no final pressure equal to that of the initial pressure. And that is the disadvantage associated with the compressed gas system. So it is used to dispense the semi-solid foams or the spray discharges. You can see there is a liquid and gas solution. There is a gas under pressure which is to be filled and which will undergo expansion. It will exert the pressure, so that will pushes the content into this tube, and then through the actuator it will comes out in the form of the aerosol spray. So as I said that there is no initial pressure equal to that of the final pressure. That's why in the initial stage, the high pressure that is needed to be maintained of 90 to 100 psig at 21 degrees Celsius is required. So there are three different types of the system. The third one, which is known as the barrier type of system. Now, in case of barrier type of system, why it is called as barrier? Because the propellants that are separated from the product with some physical barrier. Now, that physical barrier might be in the form of the piston type. So you can see there is a piston. There might be plastic bag type. You can see there is a plastic bag, and there is a can in can type. You can see there is an internal can, there is an external can, there is a can in can type. So the pressure outside the barrier that will pushes the content from the container. So the pressure is existing here. So that will pushes this piston to exert, and that's why it will comes out. Same is the case onto this internal container, and same is the case onto this plastic bag. As far as the manufacturing of aerosols are concerned, there are two different methods, pressure filling and the cold filling. As far as the pressure filling method is concerned, it is same as that of the filling of the liquefied gas containers, LPG cylinders, right? Liquefied petroleum gas container filling. So the same kind of techniques, the same kind of method is adopted in order to fill the pressure fill aerosol system. Only the difference is of the scale. So the pressure filling associated with the LPG, that is on larger scale, whereas as far as the aerosol is concerned, it is on to the smaller scale. So pressure filling, that will consist of the different steps, like say in first step, the chilled product concentrate is added to an open container. In second phase, the wall is crimped in place. In the third phase, the propellant is added under pressure through the wall. And the fourth stage, that will consist of the filled pack is passed through the water bath for leak test. In case of the cold filling apparatus, the product concentrate is cooled or it is freeze at -30 to -40 degrees Celsius. In step 2, the cold concentrate is added to chilled container. In step 3, the propellant is added. In step 4, valve is crimped in place. And in step 5, the filled pack is passed through the water bath at 55 degrees Celsius in order to perform the leak test. So this is the way by which the manufacturing of the aerosol system that will be carried out. So with this, we will stop at this point. Thank you very much. Have a good day to you all.